Oh, I fell in an instant. between cowboy clouds and mist. Silver dress by the lights, crystal blue. I was lost to the menace of the night, sucker punched by most of my life. Told myself I would always toe the line. Tripped on love and fell, you shook me out my shell. Now I know you well. Tripped on love and fell, you shook me out my shell. Now I know you well. I fell for you. I fell for you. Life can switch from light to dark.